What's going on? Welcome to another live edition of Real Fans, Real Talk. We got a special guest in the building. She's been a guest co-host before on the show. She's also internationally known and respected. I don't know if she get more respect overseas or right here in New York City. But she is a very special guest. But hold on, before I introduce our guest, because I got a whole lot of praise for this woman here. Let me introduce my co-host, Eric Sanchez, aka Legend in Two Games. What's going on, man?
What's really good, bro? Listen, I don't take up too much time because I already see the questions coming in. They don't want to hear from me. We know who they came to see, man.
They here for the lady that's she I guess she's is she in the box underneath us, or I don't know how y'all seeing it
I'm beneath you guys.
all right, making sure. But we are talking about an MVP right here. We're talking about a multiple time champion. I can't even count how many. If you add the championships up between overseas and right here, in New York City, you might have had like 20 championships in the past 3 years, from all your respective teams that you won. You just finished winning another championship about a week ago. You guys won a championship. My favorite female basketball player, Niki Avery. How are you?
Hello, guys. Hey, Aunt. Hey, Eric. So I'm good. I'm just enjoying everything that's coming, and it's been a pleasure. The whole journey, and just to see the transition of myself from stop playing overseas last year is my first winter being home, and then this, now I'm home permanently, and it's been a transition. It's been a journey a bit, but I think it went smoothly. I kind of got right into my stuff, and I'm just happy to be here.
Definitely, we're glad to have you back with us. We the fans have been asking us to bring on some of the female hoopers that we know for the past couple of weeks, and since your name came up a couple of times on the show from different guests as one of the top female ballers in New York City, and since we already have a personal relationship with you, it only made sense that we brought you back on the program. So let's just go right back to the most recent championship that you won. You pretty much run New York City summer basketball. You've been doing that for the past couple of years, but talk to us about this last chip, the most recent one.
Okay, so I play for a team called No Limit, and we are stacked, fully stacked. We have like a conglomerate of about 25 girls, to be honest, and so we make two or three teams sometimes. So my team's last win was at was at Rucker Park, and it was a huge win and everything. The last game that I played in, that I was part of the championship team, because sometimes we switch players for teams, was Gersh Championship, and it was super dope. The environment at Gersh Park is high, and it's dope vibes. And so me and Renee Taylor and the whole backcourt, and Big Love and Mo and Monty and everybody that plays with us, Nadia. We always come out every day ready to go hard, and we love each other, so we play together. And it's really hard to beat us with our IQ. So we kind of like uh, give a lot of teams a run for their money.
We know.
Yeah,
A lot about
I don't want to boast or sound like, but it's like we've been doing it for a while now, so it's like, we're kind of like used to it, in the sense of, we don't expect anything less from us, being a team that has been winning continuously. And it's not only just like the main players. Sometimes we put teams together and we're not even included in those teams, and we still win. So that's good to show, our leadership and how we're like passing everything down, and the girls are picking things up, and they're coming out strong with the same mentality, and which is, give it your all and work together. That's big for us. It's like us working together, knowing our strengths, knowing our roles, and everybody playing their part. So a lot of our youngins are filling the slots in, and they're doing exactly what we've been doing. So it's been working out for us.
Let's we don't want to go too long before we get to these questions because sometimes
Yeah.
the supporters they go crazy. Let's throw Wayne's question up there right now. Um, I don't know why it's not coming up. Hold up.
Hey, Nikki, who introduced you to?
Did you see it up there?
I only said quick, and then it went off.
Hold
I
on.
couldn't finish it.
there you go.
Put that
All
basketball
right.
in your hands. Oh, I'd say, hey Wayne, thanks for your question. I'd say my brother. My brother is a year and a half older than me, and I live in Washington Projects. Even growing up, and so I would go outside every day with my brother and follow him around. So, of course, we started at Cherry Tree Park, which is in Washington Projects, and then we traveled to Franklin Plaza, which is just a couple of blocks down. So I really was raised there, playing against all of the guys at Franklin Plaza. And over the years, I just got tougher. I just knew I was a shooter. They had confidence in me. They would pick me up first or second, when they were choosing teams. And yeah, that's how the ball got put in my hands there, for sure. I was 6 or 7, and it was my brother, I would say.
Let me ask you this, because you and Renee are recognized as the best backcourt in New York City basketball. Talk to me about that chemistry and how you guys came the notoriety that you guys have been getting as the best backcourt in New York City basketball.
Yeah, so Renee, first of all, Renee is like Allen Iverson, right? That's female AI. And so it's a blessing to play with her, to learn from her, and to like grow with her, and to see the smaller people win. And that's a struggle that we both have to overcome our whole careers. It's like everybody thinks we're so small and we can't do certain things, but then when we play with big heart, and we play huge. So I commend her, because she's like a different type of guard than me. We both have the same tenacity, and we both can shoot, we both can dribble, we can do different things. She's like a straight to the basket, more of a like aggressive type player. I'm more of a shooter, finesse type, vibe. So it's like when we get together, we know exactly how to complement each other, and it's like it's really hard stopping us being on the same page. And I just love it. I love it. Whenever they try to double her, it's like she knows she has me there to help her get the ball up the court or do whatever it is that needs to be done, lead the team, and vice versa. So it's really hard for them to put all of their energy into just focusing on one of us. And so I love it. That's I know her since we were like 15. We went to this different high schools, but we played against each other. So that's how we all met. Riding the train uptown. Me, her, Shannon Bobbitt, Mikel Robinson, Ava Thomas. We all were in the same, class. And so me and her especially, we played against each other. She went to Scanlon. I went to St. Raymond's. So we first were playing against each other. We were like rivals. And then from there, like as it grew, like the end of our senior years and in college, we got really close, and we just kept on being support systems for each other, being the same size and being in the same field. And then, after college, everything just grew from there, being overseas. And that became like my best friend, my backcourt partner. And so it's really easy when we play. It's not like when I go overseas or go play for different teams, I don't really know the person I'm playing with, and it makes it more difficult for the chemistry to flow so easily. But with her it's easy because I can express things to her, she can express things to me, and then we're both high IQ players, so some things don't even need to be said. It's just we just roll with the punches. And yeah, it's dope. Even though we're small, we're like a tough tandem, you know what I mean?
Hey, Nikki, I want to ask you, because I know you have a lot of years of experience playing overseas. How would you compare or describe the differences between playing overseas and playing ball in New York?
Oh, well, of course, overseas is a little bit more organized for sure, as far as like playing pickup basketball or street ball. They really like. Am I still on here?
Yeah, you're good to go. We just said
Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you guys disappeared. Okay, yeah. So, but it's really the same concept, when it comes to basketball. But overseas, they're a little bit more stuck with the plays and like the offense and everything moving really fast. Not one person holding the ball for so long, doing like clear routes and stuff. They really not into that so much. They want you to make a play. They consider the guard to be like a playmaker. That's what they call them. And so they want them to make plays for everybody else. Not so much making a play for themselves all the time,
yeah.
even though we do that, but I think the street ball game is more so like, okay, we could go one on one for 4 plays in a row. We can do things that are kind of like against the game, the more organized game.
Mhm.
And that's a big difference right there. But basketball is basketball every way. I would say that in Europe they are very crafty and they have a good touch around the rim. So like different finishes with like reverse layups and like one step layups, stuff like that. Euro obviously they like practice that all day. Like their practices consist of giving at least 20 minutes a day, putting into just making those different mic and drill layups, different finish touches, and you
More
can
of a
see it.
finesse game.
Yeah, more of a finesse. You could see it in their game when they play. Even like the NBA players, you could see it. You know what I mean? They kind of like real around the rim, they good. They know how to finesse it. So, but I think in New York, and we're way more flashy, way more aggressive, way more heart filled. And we know how to battle it out. We're gonna talk shit.
That's correct.
We're gonna get into it. So it's a nice blend if you bring them together. But overall, it's basketball is basketball, kind of.
All right, let me go to Hoop Baller Scoops question. He wants to know if you played on any AAU teams coming up, any titles or memorable battles in the AAU circuit.
Yeah, so I played for New Heights, which used to be the Warriors, right? So the Warriors, it used to be called the Warriors, and now this is just New Heights. And I was really young. At first, I played for the Inner City Stingers, which was a local team downtown by like Carmine and Westford, and it was basically a group of us. And one of the parents of the girls was the main coach, Brenda Stewart. So she was dope. She would take us on trips, and it was like a family thing. We were all close. Carmen Guzman, me, Milana, like Shawnee Stitt, like so many dope players, Jasmine and Carlina, so many girls. And then from there, like I said, I went to New Heights and I got involved with like Jessica Villaplana and everybody from there. And I also played a little bit with Gauchos, a little bit with Exodus, a little bit with Riverside. I was kind of like moved around a little bit. People wanted like my jump shot. They were like, come play with me here, come play with me here. So, if my team wasn't in it and we weren't part of that tournament or something, I would kind of play with other player teams as well, as long as my coach said it was cool. And so, yeah, those are some of the teams I played for. Any titles or memorial battles in AAU circuit? I don't know. I don't know anything memorable. Memorable. Let me think. Not really. I mean, playing against somebody like Shannon Bobbitt was always like, okay, we got to buckle down. Thank God she was on my team in high school. But certain players, where they got the handle or whatever it is, you had to pay more attention to for sure and just make sure you were ready defensively, especially playing outside. So
You mentioned your jump shot and you being wanted for your jump shot. Was 2 summers ago to open up Rucker. You hit a game winning 3-pointer to really kind of set the summer off, and then everything kind of went crazy after that because then y'all won chip after chip after chip.
yeah, that was crazy. And it's so crazy because like the other day at Queen Dome, I think it was last night actually, it was the same play. So basically, I don't know how much they were down, but in our case, we were down two. We were down two, and we drew up a play. Renee Taylor, my backcourt partner, drew up a play, and she's drawing up the play as we're in the timeout and we're all standing on the court. So it's like the other team can see the play. We're all beginning position. She's putting everybody in position. Niki, you stand here. You two guys screen down, a staggered screen for me to basically come up towards the ball on the sideline inbound. So I could just catch it, turn, and shoot. That it was like 1 second on the clock. It was the best thing we could do. And no lie, I literally just saw the same play happen last night at Queen Dome. The
That's
guy, they were down, whatever they were down, and he runs off of the staggered screen, comes right up. They had a switch issue on defense. The other team came across. He got the inbound, no dribble, no nothing. Catch, turn, shot, cash.
so they
Same
still
thing.
watching your tapes.
Yeah, he's watching my tapes. He's trying to close the summer off with my moves.
That's crazy.
So it was so real. Like I enjoyed that day so much. But yeah, so I came off. It was on the right side. On the right side, they took the inbound out, and I ran towards the ball, and I caught it. And as soon as I caught it, I just turned and shot it, and it just felt good. The announcers, Rel was the same announcer for Queen Dome, so he got to be our last second shot everywhere. Like he got to be at all our tournaments. He
That's our
said, "Shout out
cover.
to Harlem, right?" So yeah, so I made it off the backboard. It was epic. I mean, we had different camera angles. We had the official cameras there, and even Nike was around. They were doing like a little thing on me, and so there was a lot. It was just turned up. Miracle Park was turned up. It was beautiful.
Facts. I got Kyrie Thompson. He wants to know in high school in New York, did you make any all area or all state teams? Did you win any state titles?
I was mentioned, and then I was Bronx Player of the Year my senior year. So that would have been 2004. I was Bronx Player of the Year, and I went to play, in the championships and stuff like that. But I won a PSAL championship at the Garden with Murray Bertram my freshman year. So I went to Murray Bertram my freshman year. Of course, I played in like the regular season games. We were smoking teams everywhere, right and left, like this. Smack, 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 easy. You seen what Piff did, 100 whatever points a couple
Mhm.
times, but I wasn't there during her era. But that's the competition level at that time, when we were playing with Murray Bertram. So I had some greats above me like Cindy Gonzalez, Robin, Woolridge, Afia Cuff, like big girls, they was all gunners at that time. And so I was a freshman. So I didn't play as much at the Garden. I didn't play as much, but I was there and I was happy to be there, being a freshman and looking up to the seniors who were there killing all year for all their 4 years. So so I won a title my freshman year with Murray Bertram at the PSAL championship in the Garden. And then I also won Bronx Player of the Year. We won the Bronx Championship when I played for John F. Kennedy my senior year of high school. And my two in between years, I was in St. Ray's, which is a Catholic school division. We didn't make it to like state or anything like that.
I'd say things still worked out because you still had a little feature in the New York City Point Guards doc
Yes.
that
Yeah.
came out was a couple of months ago now. Talk to us about that and what did that mean to you as one of the best female point guards out there to be on that documentary with so many great New York City legendary point guards.
Yeah, it's a great honor. I feel humbled to be part of it. I mean, there's so many key players that make this basketball thing go, and they're important in our legacy. And of course, everybody wasn't named, so it like makes me, of course, I feel honored in the sense that I was thought about and named, but also, I want to give love and respect to all of those who as well should be mentioned, because there's so many big players here in New York City that have like stamped. They've been stamped and they're verified, and like Crystal Bellinger, Nakia, like Slinky, and like some big guards, Marita Reed, Carmen Guzman, and so those are just to name a few. Nastasia, and it's like we were all at the same level, and like as far as our game and what we wanted to bring to the table, and so just I want to show them love too at this moment. But yeah, it was that was dope being in that. I mean, I could show my kids that's there
Mhm.
forever. It's like I'm in the video. I'm only doing a couple dribbles and hanging out a little bit, but the fact that they thought about me to mention me is a blessing, and not for nothing. I've been an underdog my whole life. People always I was overlooked. I wasn't really in the circuit like that with like, let's say, Shannon Bobbitt and like Renee Taylor and everybody at that young age in middle school. I was like, who are these girls? I thought I was the only one playing ball in my neighborhood, and then I finally really got into the little network, and I was just like, wow, there's a lot going on. Like these girls are big. People were already supporting them. People know about them. The recruiting was already happening. People were helping, get them nice and put them on certain positions. And so I've been an underdog. I kind of was late to the party, and so I'm thankful that at least now, at least I'm here with everybody.
We'll go
That's
to Renee's question. Eric, going to take it?
no, I was gonna say, yeah. Bring Lene's question up.
Who was the first person to bust your ass on the court, meaning they just went to work on you?
It'd
I
be
don't
like that
know.
sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. See, I don't see girls who don't be dogs like that. You know what I mean? Like girl, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say that because girls are dogs, but like growing up, no, we can be dogs, but like growing up and everything, wasn't nobody that was really like, oh, they just gonna go at me all game or something like that, or you know what I mean? Somebody might score on me a play or two, and then it's like, especially like when I was in my prime, like really playing D and like really on it, yeah. Like now I take plays off here
So,
and there.
You
so
get
let
you
But
get
let's
LeBron on right now. You
yeah,
only
yeah.
play
You gotta
fourth quarter.
preserve. You gotta preserve your energy. You know what I'm saying? But let's rephrase it then. Who was the first person you played that really you was like, yo, she's a problem?
let me think. Of course, Renee, Shannon, Stas, Nastasia Bukop. I don't know her name, last name, but Nastasia. She from Brooklyn, lit. Um, I don't know, Crystal Bellinger. But honestly, it wasn't really nobody that really put. You know what I'm saying? I always been smart. Like I don't know what to say. Like I know how to use my teammates. I know how to move around. I know how to like. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's just gonna go crazy on me. What they gonna do? ISO all game? You know what I'm saying? Like they would have
Right.
to ISO the whole game in order to really just put me in the basket or go to work on me. And if not for nothing, I'm gonna call for help. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, come over!" Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we not doing that. Like, yo, we got like, yo, if the screen and
You
roll,
start
you
getting
got to
hot,
be
you need
there.
help.
Yeah, hell yeah. Fuck it, forget that. Yeah, we trying to stop. We trying to get the ball back. We got that's what makes me like that's what my coaches love me sometimes, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Cuz I know how to get the shit done even when it's not, even if I'm like undersized or even if I'm not as fast or not as good defensively or whatever it is. I know how to I understand what's the purpose. Like, I could help us talk us through it. Like, oh, we good. Stay here. Like, we good.
basically, it's a reason why they say you are one of the top point guards in the city still.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason. Cause I really ain't running around all crazy like before.
You gotta love that,
Hey,
man.
I know the
I want to
game though, for real. I know the game.
let's bring up drunk. Drunk is a character in itself, but his questions always hitting
So
right
he's
here.
got three. Okay.
He got a couple. He got a couple right here. Shout out to Drunk, who always support.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. When you the paycheck overseas, you never know what's gonna happen. Some countries are way more professional, and they have everything lined up. Soon as you get there, you have your apartment, your car, whatever it is that was promised in contract. You have your meal plan. You get your money on time. There's no issues whatsoever. But then you have cases where things are just, you could tell they're still hustling to make things happen. Like, okay, we'll have the thing in 1 week. We'll have the apartment ready. Okay, in 1 week we'll have the internet working. Okay, in 1 week we'll have, we'll give you the money. Or it's just like it's a little bit slow, but that's what comes with the job. At this point we kind of understand that, and we just work through it and try to balance it out, so that it doesn't hurt us as much, but we're still patient. At least that's how I tried to handle it.
What was the
Now,
toughest part about? I'm sorry, Eric.
no,
What
no,
was
go
the,
ahead, Trip. I'm gonna go after that. Go ahead.
what was the toughest part for you about going overseas to play? Because it can be a big culture shock leaving the United States and then you go into countries that you've never played in before. So what was that? What was that like?
I mean, of course, it's nervous at first. You really have no clue. I mean, you're just like, okay, you're going to a new team, a new area. Like, what is the basketball like? Like, are the coaches gonna like me? Are the girls gonna like me? Do I fit the style? There's so many questions that arise. But you go there, you just have to be brave. We have to be brave. Sometimes we go into unknown territory, and coming off the plane is just like, okay, you just get ready for anything. And then you could see kind of like how the lifestyles are different. There's a whole bunch of like those scooter vans, the scooter bikes everywhere. One of my teams when I first arrived, this was my first year, like they picked me up in a scooter. So I just had to like get on the back of the scooter and like, wow. You know what I mean? So it's crazy a little bit. So it's like a couple of times I was riding around with the scooter with like the manager or somebody, and that's normal. That was normal for them. So I kind of just adapt, and I learned like how to go shopping at the supermarkets, because you don't notice it, but like everything, all their products are in their language,
Yeah,
whatever country you're in. So you go try to buy some. Of course, you can notice things like, "Hey, I noticed those are baby wipes," but like, what are they saying? Well, like I have no clue what is in there, or what kind, or like, okay, is this meat? Is this chicken? Is this pork? So I kind of like have to look at the pictures on the things and just figure
yeah,
it out. Like if I see the pig, I know it's pork, and beef, stuff like that. So little things like that, I kind of just had to adapt to, and so it wasn't as difficult as I would think, but you have to adapt.
Now, with all your years of experience overseas, and I'm sure it can be very scary as a woman traveling to these different places. Have you ever seen something like what took place with Brittany Griner? Where being held there in Russia, and then obviously having to go through the whole legal system there. Had you ever seen something like that before?
No, I hadn't seen anything like that before. I mean, I've heard of some things happening, maybe somebody getting arrested for the night, like because it was like a brawl or something like that. But that's it at the very most. It's like a one night thing, and you good to go. But I think that was just the timing of what was going on in the world, and I don't know. It might have been a personal vendetta. I have no clue, like why it was taken so seriously. Especially then, because I would assume, this is just me assuming, is that that's not the first time that she's carried things over there.
yeah. I doubt that. I'm sure she's done it
I
before.
would
'Cause
assume that, yeah, she's been playing over there for a few years already. She makes great money. She's a high status person, so I would assume that that was something she commonly does. So I don't know what changed it or what factors led them to go that hard. But I'm sure it was the whole politics and everything that was happening, in the world and everything. So
Got you.
I've
Scoop.
never experienced anything like that though.
Shout out to Scoop Hoop. Scoop Hoop says, when it was time for college, what schools did you narrow it down to, and why did you pick the college that you picked?
Okay, so when it was down to narrow down to college, I wish so much that I like had more guidance and stuff. Cause I had all my offers were Division 1. They were kind of mid majors, and Wolford, a school called Wolford in South Carolina, which was I actually knew who the coach was gonna be or something. They wanted me to come on a visit. They were Division 1, but also East what University of Texas at El Paso. They were recruiting me, UTEP. So what happened was I had kind of like told Wolford, yeah, I would come to visit, but I already had UTEP's visit set up first. So I went to UTEP first. And UTEP was so amazing. I mean, coming down, like, first of all, it's all the way in Texas. It was like a 7, 8 hour flight. It's me leaving New York on my own, getting on the plane, traveling for 7 hours. And then as I'm coming off of the flight, you get on the escalator to come down to like see the people once you're exiting. The coach is standing there with my face on his shirt in their team uniform. So I had a UTEP uniform. And this is like 12, 15, 20 years ago. I know it sounds crazy, but it was a long time ago. So it's like they photoshopped me on the shirt. I was just like, oh shoot, what the hell is going on here? I just felt so happy and excited that somebody was doing that for me. I was just like,
Yeah.
wow. And those little things just took me, they like showed, they presented everything to me so nicely. Like they took me to different little events. Then when they brought me to my hotel was filled with the same thing, like a big cake with my face on it, saying like please welcome to UTEP, or like just little things. I was what, 18-year-old kid. I was so happy. I was just like, wow, I've never had anything like that. They really want me. So I was just so excited that after that visit I like verbally committed to them.
Yeah.
So I didn't even go on my Wilford the other visit, because I already verbally committed, and I was like, I'm going there. Like, that's it. I don't need to
Nigga.
see nothing else. Yeah, but if I knew better, I think I would have definitely at least seen all of my options more. I kind of like cut everything at that point. So I
Yeah.
ended up going to UTEP my freshman year. And we had a pretty successful year there. It was a huge campus. The football program is huge. The campus is beautiful. I think that's what it was. It was just such a big campus, such a big school. Penny Hardaway went there,
Hmm.
and it just I just was like, okay, this is the place for me, and I saw how much they loved me and stuff, and that was what I did, but like I said, I would have narrowed it down. I would have at least taken my time and went to all of my visits. I don't think that was the right choice on my behalf.
So I want to take Drunk's question because he was watching your tapes. He said he watched your Greece playoff highlights from 2015. That jump shot is nice. They need you to do some mocap for 2K. Or they want you on the game. They want you in
Oh,
the
I
game.
would love to be on the game. What? And then after my game, I just transform and get into my baddie mode. I would love to. I could cheer for myself. Then I go play.
Nah, that would be lit. If I see you on 2K, I go crazy. That
No,
would be
I
so
would love
dope,
that.
man.
That would be a dream come true. Honestly, I'm telling you, I would be super just honored. Cause like I said, I've been an underdog. A lot of this stuff, like even the WNBA as a little girl, I didn't think that. I didn't really think about that. I didn't understand the game. I didn't understand. I looked at the game as a tool to get me out to college. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get to college. I always had ambition and goals, but I really didn't know the market. I really didn't know, you know what I mean, all of the ins and outs. And so I feel like I was behind, and I feel humbled that I would even be at that level that they would, request me. But my game and my talent and my stuff is valid, So
Yeah, but I guess the business of basketball, we don't always know the business of it, but yeah, talent can
I mean, my
definitely.
mom is Greek. My dad didn't know. My dad is a musician. They didn't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just us. Like, we didn't know what was going on. Like, you learn from, what I mean. People tell you, they put you on. But nobody in my family was in that field. Nobody in my family was around that. They were foreigners. They weren't even from the country. So it's like my dad was from Massachusetts. He's a musician. He wasn't into any of that. He didn't know. So it is just by God's doing and by me just being in my environment and like getting close to the people that was in the environment that kind of like led me to have an opportunity to
Yeah.
be associated with the environment. You know what I'm saying? But I held my own. I always was about my business. You know what I'm saying? I was always doing my thing, working out, being where I had to be. And I had ambition. I've always had ambition. And I wanted to be better every day. Like you see, people see me in the gym when I'm working out, they can't believe it. They like, this girl is a machine.
Yeah.
Like as compared to like our Kobe Bryant mentality. I'm not gonna leave till I hit a certain amount. I'm not gonna leave till I feel good. And I'm like that all throughout up till now. Like I was in Poland 2 years ago. That was my last contract.
Mhm.
I would be in the gym before the team, before the girls, like days off. I've been shooting for 2 hours. I got the gun up. The boys are coming in. They're like, this girl has to leave. When is she gonna leave the gym? Because
Mamba mentality. You had the Mamba mentality.
yeah, Mamba mentality. Because I just want to make sure I could hit shots when I'm tired. And I not for nothing. It's like it's therapy for me. I like being in the gym. I have my music on. I'm making my moves. I'm feeling good. I'm perfecting each move. Now I'm hitting them continuously in a row, and it just makes me feel good. This is what I'm here for, and I just want to and keep on evolving in everything.
I'm gonna take Pooh's question 'cause I like this
I was
question.
gonna say, yeah, I think that's a perfect segue.
1996 USA women's team was the women's dream team to some degree, with Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Teresa Edwards, Dawn Staley. Was that team inspirational at all in your youth?
I think not in my youth because I think I was too young to understand. Like I told you, I wasn't. It wasn't something that was on in my household. We weren't, the games and stuff. It just was my environment. I can't say like I'm a child. I didn't know what was happening at that time. My mom wouldn't put it on. I didn't know. I wasn't really, involved. Like I said, as a youth. But as I got older and I was able to browse and see things and really understand what was happening. Like if you look back and you understand what was happening with the dream team and how inspirational and impactful they've been as women to do the things that have been happening. I mean, it's like I was seeing history happen right in your face, like legendary history. So at this point, yeah, it's very inspirational to me because those are all top dogs. I mean, look at Dawn Staley now. She's like the
Mhm.
highest paid coach. I mean, right?
Yep,
I believe she's
absolutely.
like the highest paid coach. I mean, Teresa Weatherspoon is about to pick up a big coaching job too. Now I heard, she's legendary. Everybody knows her all over New York. Cheryl Swoops is not enough you could say about her. I mean,
Yeah,
she was like the dog of dogs, right? That's how we see her, even with her sneaker and everything that she has. And like Lisa Leslie, we all knew of her being the big man for years. Like it was Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo. Those are only two I kind of would hear about constantly,
yeah,
but mainly Lisa Leslie. So I
yeah.
mean, these girls, yeah, they're awesome.
As you transition away from playing, is coaching in your future?
I'm definitely a good coach because I've like had some experience with some of the girls. At least a good motivational person, like IQ, and like can give them hints and stuff. It was in my future. I'm not gonna say no, because I do love it. But I kind of want to get into so much more in entertainment and hosting, interview and influencer work, actress work, just on screen entertainment things. I think that's where I kind of really, really want to dive in. But I'm not closing the door to coaching because I'm really good at it and I feel like it's part of my give back. So,
You're good at a lot of things. You got a couple of talents outside of basketball,
yeah.
music being one of them. But I'm gonna go to Janetta Johnson's question because she wants to know. She says, "Girlfriend, tell me how you got into modeling. Do you remember your first modeling gig?"
Wow. Okay, I remember I did something maybe like in high school. It was from with Slam magazine. Might have been my first year out, or it might have been my first year out of sorry, my first year out of college, somewhere around then. But I've always been like, my mom was always like, you need to do, pictures. You need to do pictures and this and that. So I was always wanting to take pictures. I just fell in love with the camera really young, like 14, 13, 12. Every time pictures were around, I'm here, posing. Ooh, at first, it starts that way, and then as you start to learn, and like your postures and your things can change, and I fell in love with it. The way that people viewed me, the way I viewed myself, and just the dynamic part of it, where I could change up my looks. I can have my hair up in a bun. I can be sexy. I could be a little tomboyish. I could put my hair down, and I fell in love with that part, just changing the image. The thought, I fell in love with the thought that the basketball player doesn't have to be rough.
Yeah,
That's what I fell in love with when it comes to modeling. It's like, okay, you're not just modeling, you're not just a regular girl modeling, you're a basketball player modeling. And so that became my purpose after a while. It's like, okay, Nick, you're gonna open these doors more, because I'm pretty sure women were trying to do that as well. But you're gonna open these doors more, and it'll attract more young girls who are like girly girls, or maybe their parents want them to be more girly and not so rough, you know.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to be the image for that, the face for that, because I take that to heart. You know what I mean? And not that you could be rough, you could not be rough, you could be whatever you want, but I just didn't want it to have a stigma on sports that, oh, if you play sports, you have to be boy. I don't want to have that stigma. No, because that sometimes that comes with it. It's like, some girls, they might feel
Yeah.
intimidated. Well, I don't want to be, I want, I've heard the girls, sometimes they want to just still be girl. They don't know if there's a space there that you don't, when
Lose.
you think about careers, you think about stuff, it's like people are usually the same, in a sense, with
Yeah.
the way that they carry themselves and stuff. And so, anyway, I just thought, I really enjoyed that, my modeling, representing the women in a different light, where they were fierce and, you know, pretty and sexy or whatever.
I definitely understand. Dion Hoops page. He wants to talk about some of your other talents. When did you get into rap? In terms of your rapping, who were some of your rap idols coming up that inspired you?
Oh man, Jay-Z, Eminem, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Mace, Diddy, Cameron, like that whole era right there, Fab, when he started coming in, that whole era, Jada, they were like, I was singing every word. I mean, every word. I just love the music. It would inspire me to play my games, just to get up in the morning, just to blast the music. And I think I started to make songs and play around with it in middle school with like a couple of my friends. We wrote like, if you want to touch me, they touch me. We were like so fast. I don't know why we were singing all of this stuff, but we were like making songs. It was a group of us, and we were like making these like, all girly, romantic type songs. And I fell in love with it, and like Left Eye and TLC and just the whole girl swag. And but I didn't really start writing until I started going overseas. I think that's when I had the most time to just be on my own and really get my mind right and put my thoughts down on paper. And so when I went overseas, that's when I had so much time. I just would start really rapping, and I started to change my cadence, understand how to hold my breaths, understand how to rhyme, different parts of the sentence. And I'm still learning. But yeah, those are definitely some of my idols. Jay-Z's my top. And now, of course, it's changed. There's more people added, like Nicki Minaj, it's Cardi B. There's so many new people that I love.
Who would be your dream collab on the track?
My dream collab.
Mm.
I mean, Jay-Z. I mean, I wouldn't ask for nobody but Jay. Now, it's not that I would ask for nobody but Jay, but of course, to be on the track with Jay is like,
I mean, anybody you get on the track with
I mean,
Hov.
that's my guy. I mean, not even mentioning what, you know what I'm saying, who he is and what it would mean, for my career, but I don't know. I like it. I like his style. You know what I'm saying? I always like this style. I like what he talk about. I feel like he always talks about, you know, both sides. You know what I'm saying? He tells you what it is. He not really forcing you to do that or like judging you. He just tells you what it is, and
You
he
never
tells
get
you
any
the outcome.
complaints from me or Eric on the Jay-Z collab. You're not gonna get no complaints from us.
Yeah, yeah. So Jay-Z's my guy. Um, and who else? Yeah, so I would love that. Of course, the Cardi, Nicki, like any of those two top right there. Even Remy Ma, not to even say even Remy Ma. Like those are the hardest. The girls, besides Lil Kim and Foxy, they're a little older now, and I'm not, but
I gotta say
any of
this
those.
because that because they don't know this, but I actually I had to put part in Nicki's career. I had a little bit of history with Nicki as well because I actually directed
Oh yeah,
a first music video. So just so y'all know, I've been outside. All
yeah, that's right. It's crazy. I saw some of those clips like a little while ago. I was going through my phone and I saw it. I was like, wow, we was outside. We had a whole bunch of people. We was
Yeah, it
all
was a
on
lot of
It was
people
on
out
Myrtle.
there. Yeah,
We did the video on Myrtle in Brooklyn. It's like, so my family's out there, and it was like stacked. I mean, but I think it was a decent amount of people. We had a good time. My song was
You was
called
doing
Pain
your
on
thing.
Me. Yeah, it was cool. It was
You was
called
doing
Pain
your
on
thing.
Me. Yeah, I was sitting on top of the rim. I sat on
Mhm.
top of the rim. I did my verse on top of the rim, and
It was lit.
it,
We
that
had
was
a good day.
it was scary. I ain't gonna lie. That rim, the hoops is another thing. Sitting up there, because you don't realize it, but there's nothing holding you on the sides. So
Yeah,
you really have to just sit straight up, and you got to pin your back to the backboard. Otherwise, like if you just lean a little bit, you really just going like you gone. You're gonna go under. You
it's
know?
over, it's over for you.
Yeah, there's nothing on the side to hold on to. It's just is nothing.
That
So
was actually very dangerous when I think about it now.
it's
But
very
I'm glad
dangerous.
that we did it and accomplished that, and everybody was good at the end of the day.
I was scared once I got up there. I said, "Oh gosh, how am I supposed to rap and not look scared right now?" I was scared. I was like, "Help me!"
But it all worked out though.
Yeah.
Let me go to you
But
want to take you want to go ahead. Who you want to take, Eric?
now I was gonna say, well, I mean, hype ball or scoop, because since we talking to music.
Um,
God, so there's a lot of questions, huh?
when did
Oh
he? Oh,
yeah.
I see. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of questions in here.
Nikki, since you rap, I'm putting pressure on you. I'm watching 5 female rappers ever and top men rappers to you in no order. Pressure on. um, I'm gonna go Queen Latifah. 'Cause I feel like she was big dog.
Ooh.
Like as I continue to look over her stuff now, it's like she that girl. Lauren Hill, uh, Nikki. Can I do Lil Kim and Foxy together?
You can't. It's
Cause
your
I want to throw,
list.
cause I want to throw
It's your
Cardi in
list. It's
there.
your world.
Alright,
It's your
alright,
world. Go
alright.
ahead.
Those two, Lil Kim, Foxy, and I want to throw Cardi in there, yo.
Shout out to Cardi, man. I can't.
Word, I gotta throw Cardi in there, yo.
And drunk, you gonna
And Nikki,
stop
Nikki go
your
in
Jay
there
Z
for a
hating too.
fact, just for the longevity and the creativity, everything. So
Yeah, I mean, New York,
that's a good list,
got a
though.
lot
Lil Kim
of
and Foxy, Foxy was untouchable. Her and
yeah,
Lil Kim, they both had their own, even though it was the same time. They was both like, and they had the little rivalry going. Their voices, the things they were saying, it was just different.
yeah. No, listen, that you definitely pick some of the top females. Most of them come from New York. Most of the top female rappers of all time come from New York, with the exception of
Queen
Missy.
Latifah.
Missy is well, Quincy was from
Oh,
where?
and Missy. Oh yeah, Missy too. Missy's the yeah. I like Missy too. I'll keep my top five though. The ones that I mentioned. She will be next. That's my next. Missy. She was monumental. For the men, man, I always say when everybody asks me my top five, you better say these people, and then I gotta think right. All right, Jay-Z. Of course I gotta put Biggie on there. I think Biggie and Pac, they gotta go on there. Like Pac, they was both so different. They brought the different type of energy. He said he not letting Lil Kim and Foxy slide together.
Shout out to drunk.
Yeah. Um.
They both from
So
Brooklyn, so it's all good.
yeah. So Biggie and Pac. I mean, I can't leave them out. Like they have to go in there. Jay Z. Um. I don't want people to feel type of way, but I feel like Kanye got to go in there. Kanye got to go. And I mean, it's just the ending of his stuff is just not the same. You know what I mean? So it's like Eminem, like these people I love, Jada, Fab,
It's tough.
they got to go in there somewhere. So I don't know. After them three, Biggie, Jay Z, and Tupac, I don't know ordering or anything. I don't know. I have like 10 more people that got to go somewhere. I can't do the rest, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't do the rest.
Let
It's
me
fine. It's a tough list
It's a
to
tough list,
present.
y'all. It's a tough
Yes.
list.
let me go to Laquanda James questions because she says, Nikki, in 2022, the WABA named you MVP in your first season with Mount Vernon. What did that mean to you?
Oh man, that was crazy. I was like so surprised, because we like made it to the finals. We had no clue what was going on as far as MVPs talk or anything. I had no idea. And so when we ended up losing the finals game. So we were there at the award ceremony. We lost the finals game. They announced the final winners. They announced the finals MVP. Then they went to name the WABA, which is the league we're playing in. MVP, and I was just like, okay, he's gonna go to one of the finals teams players. But when they called my name, I was just like, what? This is awesome. I mean, I guess it happens in the NBA too. It's like they do whoever has the highest
You
average.
should be used to getting MVPs by now, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's still surreal. Nothing, I really feel like it's a team effort, honestly. Like I couldn't do, I couldn't be MVP without my team, like, period. So I don't take it and just be like, oh, it's all just me.
Absolutely. I got to shout out our supporters, man, because they be doing their homework. They be coming up with stuff.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, they be going
They
there.
on it. They on it. Listen, all we do is let them know who's coming on the show, and
They
they
do.
they be ready to
Word. Thank
go.
you, Laquanda. You know WABA, and you know what, guys, tune in because we're gonna actually play in the semifinals and the finals of the WABA at the end of this month. So I believe the games are the September 28th.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay,
September 28th, 29th. Yeah, if that's a Friday, Saturday, something like that in North Carolina. So I'll write it on my Instagram and stuff. So
we
we're
got
We
some
we
supporters
flying
out
out
in North
there.
Carolina, so yeah.
Yeah,
we
we're
got to get you
flying
back
out
on the
there.
show around that time then.
Yeah, we're flying out there to go play in those games, and hopefully we win. Last year I told we lost in the finals. This was like separate from summer basketball, so you guys probably didn't know about it or hear about it. These are like real games, indoor games, um, professionally held, sometimes televised, and so we'll see. We're coming for that victory. We're gonna see.
Let me go back
Put
up
up
because
who?
I do want to. Oh, you want to take who ball scoops question?
Yeah, I like that one as well. Who ball of school?
Okay. Nikki, H2O says you're the female him in terms of you doing it all and you work in the community. Is that an honor coming from him?
Oh yeah, shout out to Haran, man. Haran is like the ultimate hustler. He's into everything, especially with the community give backs and the community togetherness. He's always providing some type of platform or like games or events for us all to participate in and then give back to charity. Just good times. He's always providing some type of good times. And he fake could shoot. You know what I mean? He a good shooter. So no, but in all sincerity, he got a cannon, and he let that thing go. He ain't afraid to let it go. As soon as it touches his hands, he let it go. That's why they call him H2O, because it's like that means water. So it's like it shot his water. So yeah, I would say, yeah, I would be a female him, in terms of that, because that's what I'm most, known for, especially growing up, was my shot and my work ethic and me doing it all. Like I said, I'm rapping, I'm influencing, I'm interviewing, I'm doing, so many things. But honestly, I mean, this is life. What am I supposed to do? Like, these are things I really love to do. These are things that I'm good at, and these are things that are in my path. So I just take it all as it comes. I'm not trying to just close doors on things that I feel happiness with, or that I feel growth with, or that I feel like I can help, or that helps me somehow. So I love it.
Absolutely. I want to go back to Drunk's questions because I want to talk to you a little bit about the WNBA. Yes, Drunk actually had a good question. Why is women's college basketball, if you feel this way, why is women's college basketball more entertaining than the WNBA? If you feel that way.
Well, I definitely don't feel that way, especially now, where everything rising. But I think it's close. I think that it's just that the college basketball has a bigger audience. Everybody's tuned in all over the world. I mean, they're tuned in NCAA's, the NCAA March Madness, and everything stems from there. Once they see what teams are lit and things, the winning and stuff, and then it just goes into next season. People become fans. They start watching. So I think that the audience is just way larger when it comes to the comparison between the WNBA and college basketball. And it shows, but the season is also longer in the college basketball. The season is 8 months or whatever it is, 6 months. It starts in October, let's say, ends in May. So it's a long time. It's a long season versus the WNBA, which is a like 3 to 4 month season. And then you have like a whole, like, for instance, the WNBA girls are like adults, right? Yeah, they come from different colleges, but you don't have their whole college following them. You go to the NBA, the whole college and the college supporters, whoever's supporting that college, is following the teams.
Mhm.
So it's just, the marketing, that's something that's just already built in to seem that way, and it just makes it more entertaining. They get more coverage, more TV time, and that changes. If you don't see the WNBA, how can you think that it's entertaining?
Yeah.
If you don't know what it is, you don't never been to a game, or you have no clue. How can you even compare the two? So that's why I'm bringing up the point of the audience, because it's like the audience is not out there yet.
Yeah.
What would you, with your experience and through your travels, what would you suggest to improve the visibility of the WNBA?
Exactly what they're doing now. Making putting the eye on key players, making superstars, making people love certain players, then they love the team.
Yeah.
It's like some people just love Steph Curry, so now they fell in love with the Golden State Warriors because they love Steph Curry. You seen LeBron. LeBron changed 3, 4 teams. Whatever team he goes to, the fans go with him. They love the team. That's not the only way, but that definitely brings hardcore fans, because those type of fans, they never leave when they love the players. They never leave. The team could get split up, players leave and go. So, there could be some type of disloyalty there, but you love a player, you kind of like following them wherever they go. So I think that's what the WNBA is doing a little bit better. And I think when more of these other players like LSU girls, once they graduate, they're going to bring all of their fans and people that love them outside of the game are going to follow them to the WNBA. So as she gets into more commercials and these girls get into more publicity and things outside of the court, I think that's going to help them on the court.
Yeah.
And that's what we were missing, because we were like more family oriented before and just super strict and like not opening up to those different avenues that we have as females. It's like makeup, entertainment, everything.
I like the Amazon commercial with Angel Reese
Yeah,
and
Angel Reese.
Cartier. I like that that commercial. That commercial's funny. Oh,
My fault, I was muted. Speaking of, like you said, Angel Reese, bring up Drunk's comment because that's a good one as well. The one he just posted right there.
okay, here we go. A lot of people saying Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark going to take WNBA mainstream like Magic and Larry.
Yeah, they're going to. It's going to happen. Like I said, I think the WNBA was kind of built on, oh, we're women. You think about how it originally started. It's just like, women were just gaining the rights, and now we're playing, and so they kept it kind of low key and family, or like kind of kept it around that idea. It's like it's gonna be a little side thing, and whatever. And now it's like, no, this is real. This is a real thing. This is our profession, and not only that, we're cool people. We're like superstars. So we want to be featured in these commercials. We want to be in these places. And these people like Angel Reese, they're not scared. Caitlin Clark, she's not scared. They ready to shoot from wherever and they're gonna back up whatever's happening. They talking junk, or as far as the competitiveness in the game is proven. So people will start to respect the game even more because they'll know the person personally outside the court and what how dope they are and cool. But then they'll know, oh yeah, they doing things that are unheard of. Like the girl Caitlyn is shooting from half court, you know?
Yeah,
And like now also girls will start dunking. They're doing way more. I mean, I watched the highlights, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 15-year-olds, they're dunking. This is what they doing on their layup line, catching alleys. So just imagine as things keep moving forward, this is gonna just get more entertaining, and we're gonna shine more light on those things versus just making it a family event.
I'm gonna go to Poop's question. Your top 5 female players ever, and who is the female goat?
I don't know what, man. Cheryl Swoops. Um, I'll throw Lisa Leslie in there. There's so many that are right now playing, like Diana Taurasi. Uh, it's a girl from what's her name? Um, this is my girl. She don't play Maya Moore.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Maya Moore, tough. I like love. I'm going back in time because it's like these were the ones back, at that time, and a couple of the smaller guards like Tamika. I think I forgot a couple of small guards that I thought was like super dope. But like in today's game, I love the Plum. I love certain players. What's her name from the Aces? The guard. Um, I'm not good with the names
Candace
sometimes, but
Parker?
no, of course, Candace Parker is on the list too. Skylar Diggins, like these girls I love. Like Skylar Diggins was like something that I would like to emulate as far as like, being a girly baller and stuff like that. But I mean, I named some key players, But there's like tons. There's tons. But yeah, I would go Cheryl Swoops. I would take the big man. I would say Lisa Les. Well, I would take Brittany Griner. Cheryl Swoops, Brittany Griner. I want to pay respect to the to the first. So that's why I try to keep it with Lisa. But Cheryl Swoops, Brittany Griner. Um, I even love Sylvia Fowles. See, those are two bigs though. I would have to really think about this. I love Maya Moore.
What about Brianna Stewart? Because you see what that with the
Stewie,
movies out
yeah,
there right
Stewie. Stewie is a problem. Brianna Stewart. That's what I'm saying. Today's day, I can name all 5 Liberty players as the 5 people.
Yeah, I know people were talking about that Las Vegas stuff, a couple of weeks ago when we was doing the show. People was all big on the Aces talk, and now you can see the Liberty to beat up on them by with the 3 of the last 4 times they played. But I'm just gonna put that out there. I ain't gonna say nothing else about it.
Yeah, I could name the whole Liberty team as like a good 5. You know what I mean? I think they're all awesome. Benaje, Sabrina, the girl Marion Johansson, she tough. The European joint, she super nice. Um, then you have like Tina Charles. She don't play for the Liberty anymore, but big bucket from New York. Tina Charles, super respected. And had so many moves down low. So I mean, and then their big girl now, I forget her name too. The big Jaquel Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah, she pretty dope too. So I like it.
#1 in the power rankings, for the last couple of weeks, the New York Liberty. And they only a game and a half behind the Aces right now. But I'm just putting that little bit of information out there for y'all in case y'all didn't
Yeah,
know
because
that.
everybody
Yeah,
everybody
because
thought
Asia,
Aces. They thought everybody thought Aces was gonna run away with it.
they thought they was gonna run away because they tough. The Asia Wilson, they got the guard of what's her name? I like that
She
girl.
put up 53. That was it, 53 or 54?
Yeah, 50 or something in the last game. Yeah. So Asia Wilson is a dog. Like even her should be in the top 5 mention. What she could do. Um, I mean, the game has evolved so much. I just love watching the girls play. I love watching the girls play now. It's entertaining. Then you have underdogs like Erica Wheeler. Was like super underdog, but ended up being like on All-Star team. This was like 2-3 years ago. And then you have underdogs like these players who are coming into the league and making a difference. Highly respected. So
Let me take Imani's question. Shout out to Imani Williams. She says, "Hey, coming up, did you follow the New York Liberty much with Teresa Witherspoon, Kim Hampton? She's a little bit
Shamika
older.
Holschool. Yeah, Jordan. That's what I meant. Shamika Holschool. I forgot about her. Oh,
Yeah,
Imani, thank you for reminding me about Shamika Holschool. Yes. No, yeah, she was a bucket. These girls were like way ahead of me, meaning I couldn't even see them on TV. I had to get older and then look them up because at that time we weren't watching, we didn't see them, around like they weren't being televised that much. But her name was a big name, and then I started to look her up. I was just like, wow, she was elite.
yes,
Um, Teresa Weatherspoon, of course, I've had talks with Teresa. We've done different panels together. I think she's awesome, tough nose guard. Now I've actually got to see her play, during that time, and I think she's awesome. Like I said, tough guard, solid defender, solid passing. To the basket type of guard. So I loved her. And Kim Hampton is like she loves music too. She could sing. She was so multi-talented and she had a lot of dimensions to her. So I love Kim Hampton. Like I said, we speak on Instagram also, and her daughter is a super talent. If they didn't know. So she's at one of the schools, one of the colleges. She's at a college now.
I was just about to say, Trip. I like this one. I like this one, and put Drunk's join after this one as well.
All right, and I'm gonna answer this question first, but and then you can go, Nikki. But on the male side, most people say Kyrie Irving got the best handles. Who on the women's side would you say has the best handles? I'm gonna say Niki Avery, but you got to go to see her live on the court and see what I'm talking about when I say that. But that's it. But I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead and answer that question.
In the league right now,
Not just in the league.
Or period.
Your
Just
your personal opinion. Not it doesn't have to be in the league.
listen, I got 3 main people that besides me that I would put myself, somewhere in the tops. But besides me, handles is different. I'm not even on near them when it comes to handles. Like That's like, okay, Renee, keep it simple though. You know what I'm saying? She a straight bucket. More like Allen Iverson, get right to it handle, like crossover deadly, stuff like that. Get through the split screens, Kyrie Irving type style.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Renee. But like Shannon Bobbitt, different.
More.
Her and Crystal Bellinger, their handles was more like to just cross you. Like, yo, like you just get lost in the cross. Like I don't know who to describe them with when it comes to the men. But they'll play with you, just play with you, standing there playing with you. I like when they dribble, it's just like magical, yo. I'm telling you, I ain't never seen handles like that. It's Shannon Bob, I would say, was the top. She know how to like to dribble that ball. She know how to dribble the ball, yo. Different. Like as a little kid, we was like 12, 13. She was dribbling like that. Like, and like I said, Renee had the handles and shit. It was straight bucket. You know what I mean? It was easy. It's like, yo, it's expected. You know, it's like what and then Shannon's was like, wow, like entertaining, you know?
Facts.
I don't know
Here's
how to
Trump's
explain.
question. I'm gonna go to Janetta's question next. 'Cause Janetta got a good question as well. Nikki, playing overseas, who's the best overseas woman who you think should have got a chance in the WNBA but didn't?
Uh, I don't know, man. This is like I played with like so many girls over the last 12 years. I know one girl that I like when I was playing in Hungary. Her name is Robin Parks. Tough guard, plays like pull up game, big defender, could defend 'cause she's like a 5'10", 11 guard. And last year I seen she made it to the league finally. So right out of college, she never was in the league. She went overseas, was playing overseas for like 5 years or so. And then last year, I guess she got pulled up, like got into the league. She must have went to a tryout. So I saw her like this year, courtside playing against the Liberty. It's like Robin, and I couldn't believe. I was so happy for her. I was just like, wow, when did this happen? So girls like that, like I would shout out to Robin Parks, cause tough.
That's dope. That must be amazing to see somebody know go through the journey and then
Yeah.
finally get there.
And then have no clue. We didn't know. I didn't even have a clue that it was even an option. Because after you play a long years overseas and you haven't been into the league yet, and you already done from college about 5 years, it's kind of thought that okay, you're just gonna finish out your career overseas. You're not gonna really get into the league. They're
Yeah.
looking at the younger players. They're looking at either younger or more highly known players in Europe. Like you playing in the Euro League, top 10 team, top 14 championship team, maybe those players, but other than that, it's kind of like it's difficult. So to see her there, I was just like, yo, you made it, yo. Yeah.
All right, Janetta says, Nikki, I feel like as a woman's hooper, they should know their history. A lot of young college players and young WNBA players don't know the Cheryl Miller, Cynthia Cooper, Shamika Holslaws, the ones before them. Men know all the past players for the most part. That needs to change. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. We definitely need to take some time and I guess with all of us trying to build and get ourselves through the door, we don't spend as much energy or time telling the story from the past, and it's kind of that's not only our doing, it's the reporting and the people who care about that to keep that legacy going, to look back into those files, because like I won't know about it unless somebody shows me it. I wasn't part of that era, so it's like I didn't know about, and anybody under younger than me, same thing. They wouldn't know about it unless we bring it out. So I think we should encourage more documentaries. We should probably somebody should try to make a documentary of how the first teams, how things started, and brush up more on that. What happened with those players? Interview these women who are now much older who can just speak on what happened. We probably don't even have footage, you
Yeah.
know?
We spoke about the Woman of Troy documentary a couple of weeks ago with Cheryl Miller. I'm gonna throw Pooh's question up. She wants to know, do you know about
Yeah,
Cheryl
Cheryl
Miller?
Miller. Cheryl Miller is Reggie Miller's sister, right? She's out shooting everybody, and now she's a sports broadcaster. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've only seen the clips when I'm watching ESPN or watching the games, and they talk about her. That's how I was introduced to her, like as far as me knowing. So we need more of that. Otherwise I wouldn't know who she was. How could I? No, I mean those other guys, the NBA players, they're talked about all day on ESPN.
Yeah.
all of these old guys. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. Now I'm not trying to call them old, but the Magic Johnsons and there's guys today, kids, 20-year-old kids, 25-year-old. You ask them who's the best point guard in history, they'll name Magic Johnson. They've never seen the guy play. You know what I mean? Like how did they learn that? Somebody put them on. Somebody told them about it. They hear about him all the time. The clips, they get to see him, so they can make an opinion of it. So we have to do better at pulling up that history to show more of the women, what the women did, what work they were putting in. So yeah, I've heard of Cheryl Miller. I think she's dope. I mean, she made Reggie Miller a shooter, but they said she was cold. She was killing everybody, the men, the women.
Mhm.
So much kudos to her. I mean,
Unfortunately, the injuries ended her career because she would have been a part of that first regime of WNBA players when the league started. Had she not, had that injury when she did, she would have been right along with Cynthia Cooper because they came in, I believe, around the same time into school. So
right.
they would have been together. Let me go to Hoops Nation question. He says, or it's for everybody, he thinks the WNBA only have 12 teams isn't great. He said, I think back in the 2000s they got to 16,
Yeah.
and there's only 11 out of 12 roster spots. Many lottery picks have got cut.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been tough. That's why, like a lot of guards, like me, Renee Taylor, especially the smaller guards, we've kind of like been overlooked, and they haven't given us an opportunity, not the ones that we deserve. And there's so many more players. I mean, I'm only naming me and my backcourt because I believe in us and I know that we top dogs. But there's so many players that are in the same situation. There's only 11, 12 man roster, and then what happens is each year, think about it, they keep half of those players at
Yeah,
least. They only kind of replacing one or two players. They bring in any drafting two or three, and then they can only really keep realistically like three players. The rest of the girls are coming back again from the previous year,
yep,
which they have to like try out. But they'll have maybe 15 total in the tryout camp, and only 12 can play on the team.
yeah,
So the three extra people that are at the camp are the ones that got drafted. So it's like it's slim pickings. You could get drafted and still not make the cut. Or you can play on the team 1 year, then the next year they pick up a better draft person, and then you done. And there's really no other place to take you or put you, as far as trading and stuff like that. Because like you said, a lot of teams are locked in. Then you have the teams who are like, like the Sue Birds and all of these teams who have like Sue Bird and Taurasi, people that are dope on the same team. Who they cutting? They're not cutting anybody on that team. They're not even replacing anybody. It's like those girls are set in stone. They've been playing for 7, 8 years in the league. They're not gonna. Their spot is solidified. So there's not a lot of openings each year. So it's difficult for us being female athletes trying to make it to the level. And I think now that the basketball is picking up, especially on the women's side, we're gonna get more teams involved. So that's what we need to start pushing. It's like these people who owning teams or they have the money to back teams, buy more teams for the women. I think I hope that Toronto. I mean, there's some cities out here that are like making things happen now. So
Shout out to Deontay Pfeiffer. He says Michael Jordan is most people on the planet's GOAT. Did you get to see him much? And what do you think separated him from everyone else?
I mean, Michael Jordan. Nobody can look at anybody else and see the fierceness you see that Michael Jordan had. I mean, he had a determination to win, a will to win. The guy had a will to win. Not only that, his athleticism, what he did to the game, he evolved the whole game. I
Mhm.
mean, he's jumping from the free throw line. The things he was doing in the air when he was changing his shot so that it wouldn't get blocked on three people. Not when there was a 3 second call that everybody could stand in the paint and kind of like being helped. He still was going up and under finishes and like his legacy and even what he's done off the court. I don't know who's in charge of everything that way, but I mean, he's become an icon. His sneakers, his style, the style that came from him, his sneakers or whatever it is, it's become iconic. I mean, you can't go anywhere and not hear about Jordans. I've been all over the world. Everybody knows about Michael Jordans. Like everybody wants a pair of Jordans. Everybody rocks them. And I see this going on for years. I mean, I don't know when this will. I don't think it'll ever end. Like he's stamped in history. So that separated him right there alone, and then his game speaks for itself.
Mhm.
I mean, 6 rings.
Yeah, what you mean?
I mean,
What you gonna
and not only, yeah, not that's what really makes a goat a goat. It's like, oh, you could be the nicest, and then if you don't win,
Yeah,
it puts it's a
Right.
damp on your own heart. It's not even somebody's judgment. You know what I mean? It's like it's your own heart. It's like, yo, I gotta win. I have my personal wins, but we still not winning. At the end of the day, the purpose of playing the game is to win the game. It's to win the tournament, to win the league, whatever it is. And so somehow with whoever they put together with him, they had the right combination. And I think for sure he was like the back, he was the back for everything. He held everything on his back with his attitude, with his mindset. And that's just from what I know about him, just from reading and seeing it and his documentaries and stuff. So
let me go to because I know this is somebody you were with recently. Hoop Baller Scoop says, "Do you have a relationship with Lenny Cook? And how was it meeting Whoopi?"
Oh, Lenny Cook, that's my bro, man. I love Lenny Cook, and I'm so happy for him and proud for him, proud of him because you listen to his story or you've brushed on it a little bit, it's been a hard struggle. I mean, you can you imagine being like one of the top players in the world? Like all over the world, people know him, and he was coming up doing his thing, and then circumstances or whatever it is kind of like have you take some steps back. And it's like you think of a person, how much they could take, or what it is like. Okay, when you don't have anything, it's different. You don't have anything, you don't know what it is to lose, kind of, you don't really, you can't go under the net, it's like you don't have anything. But when you get stuff and then it kind of gets taken away,
Yeah,
I'm sure that that's a tough thing to swallow, and it's hard to, people don't come back from that. And so that's why I commend him. And with everything he's doing, I think he just had a new baby. He's a beautiful baby. He has his family. He's in good spirits. He's all over. You see his face everywhere when it comes to basketball, street ball in New York. And yeah, I got mad love for Lenny. He always supports me. He hits me up randomly some days. Yo, sis, you feeling all right? How you doing? And I think that comes from his story, and just to show who he is as a person and his character and how much he's grown. And Whippy, I met her really quickly at one of Haran's events, the Bowling for Peace event, which took place at
Hmm.
Lehman College in the Bronx this year. And she was there. So I just got in the gym. Everybody's like so shooting the ball and dunking, and they having dunk contests. I go take my little outfit to go sit near the bench to start getting changed. And I look behind me, and it's so calm. Everybody's calm. I look behind me, Whoopi sitting behind me. I said, "No way, Whoopi!" So I just was like, "Hey," and she was so nice, taking pictures with everybody. So she seemed like she enjoyed herself being there with the game and everything.
now if she had got on the court and started hooping, I'd have went crazy.
That would have been crazy. I'd have been like, "Whoopi, let me cross you real quick."
I was about to say you wouldn't show no mercy, right? You still would have went at it. You
No
still would have went
mercy.
at it.
I'd be like, "Yo, put me in a movie." if I
That's a New York state of mind. Nah, you gotta go
Gotta
at him.
be.
if I score
Get
5 points,
ready. Let
Hey,
me
Nikki, let me ask you though. Hold on, I want to before we get to another question, I want to ask you because you talked about your relationship with Lenny. Cook. Growing up in New York and the pros that come with being a highly touted prospect in New York, the same way you were. Like, can you speak to some of that? Because we have some supporters who may not understand what it's like to be in that limelight at a young age. And you talked about with Lenny Cook. What type of pressures did you feel when you were going through your high school ranks and getting recruited?
yeah, I mean, especially in the streets, it's like for me, all right, like coming out of my building, people know me, they see me, they want to talk, they want to say hi, and you welcome it all. And that's me at a lower level, that's me being a female hooper and people not knowing so much. And I still get that type of attention everywhere I go. People want to talk, they want to talk about, what has been happening or what I'm into or what I'm doing now. And so I know for a fact, like, it's so much pressure for like somebody with his talent, his level at that time, leaving this building. There must have been so many people that had something to say or how to like trying to support him in their way. And then not for nothing, there was probably a lot of side things going on, with betting and with just wanting to know what's happening for them to make future decisions, with bets and whatever else. So I can only imagine the pressure, just anywhere he went. People expecting him to do his best. People expecting him to like set trends and break records and come out ready no matter what's going on in his personal life, you know. And it's not always easy to do. Some days we don't feel good. Some days we not our best. Some days, we want to just be by ourselves. And I know that all celebrities can attest to that. And not that we're celebrities, but people know us. We popular in our areas. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he had to do with a lot of pressure, especially at his time with the drugs, what was going on in the streets. Everything goes with the timing of life. And it's like some people's journeys are more difficult because of what's happening in life in the world at that time. It's like my father's a super musician. When he was at his top of his peak of being a musician, the drugs were right there on the street. The crack hit, coke hit, everything hit. All of the musicians were doing it. It was like the beginning. And so he got caught up in that. But like right now, if he was at the top of his game as a musician, the drugs have been around already. He probably wouldn't be so loose. It wouldn't be so addictive. It wouldn't be so careless and not understanding what's happening. So that same thing for Lenny Cook. It was just the timing of everything, probably just when everything got mixed and he got caught in the middle of all of that.
I remember, yeah, I always say, because we're all around the same age, obviously, Lenny Cook as well. And I
Yeah.
remember seeing him sit courtside with DJ Clue when he was still in high school. He was at a Knick game sitting courtside. And
Wow.
at the time, it seemed dope, right? Because it's like, yo, this teenage kid, we're around the same age, and you hanging out with Clue, and this is at the peak of Desert Storm. And then looking back on it, it's like, yo, you can't even think about the type of pressure this young man must have had on him to
Yeah.
And,
be rolling with celebrities, sitting courtside with everybody. Like, he's sitting courtside when this is when Stephon Marbury's with the Knicks, and Lenny Cook might have been more popular than Steph Marbury at the time.
right.
And
Mhm.
he was only like 16, bro. That's like crazy.
And then not only that, it's everything that he had access to, everything he was
Yeah.
seeing, everything that he was coming across being in those situations. That's
Yep.
just on the court. But when he left the court, he's still with everybody. They go wherever they going. Now he's all in the mix. So he was seeing a lot and around a lot. And this is just me assuming. I don't know anything inside. Like, I know nothing. But it's just what I can assume just from looking from the outside in, understanding it a little bit from my life, that he was around a lot of things that probably his mind couldn't adjust to, and he really didn't know how to separate or how to move otherwise. And so it's tons of pressure. I mean, that's why I say shout out to him.
Or especially at 16, 17 years old, and you have to deal with all of that. That can be a lot for anybody, to handle if you don't have the right people around you. So much
Exactly.
respect to him. He's definitely seems like he's in a much better place now. So, shout out to him. Let me go to Hoop Ball the Scoop again. Overseas, what players from the WNBA have you played against in your career?
um Robin Parks, like I told you guys. I played against Shannon Bobbitt. She's not in the league anymore. I played against her. Epiphany Prince. Played against her. Tina Charles. um Let me see. Maybe a European girl or two that, like, they made the rosters somewhere, but
Yeah,
that's about it. I really haven't ran into a lot of WNBA girls while I've been playing. The WNBA girls go more towards like the big leagues, like Russia, Spain, these big places where the whole team that the girls they recruiting are WNBA players.
yeah,
So for me to even get in that league, it would be tough, like certain leagues in Europe.
yeah.
So I haven't even got into any of those leagues, which are like the top leagues, which they recruit WNBA players. You know, Mati Ajavon played against her. Um, I'm trying to remember names, but as I remember more, I'll keep naming them.
Well, you played with what's the girl's name? T Young at Rucker.
Oh yeah, T Young and Rucker. See, yep, T Young and Rucker. A few people. I mean,
Let me go to Wayne. Wayne says, Nikki, as you gotten older, what part of your game has declined from your standpoint?
Well, we could ignore that question, bro. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think. I think I've gotten smarter. You know, I think I've gotten smarter. I wouldn't say anything is declined, but I feel like maybe, okay, if I'm playing street ball stuff, I'm more lazy. I think, but that's just because of the circumstance. I'm just like whatever. Sometimes I get more lazy, like on defense, or I don't go as hard. Like I'm like, but because I'm a menace. Like I told you, I like Kobe. I don't care. I want to go 100,000% every time, all around, whatever. And I can tell like sometimes I kind of like I just take it easy. You know, I'm just like whatever.
I'm gonna go to Scoop Hoop's question since you mentioned Kobe. Scoop Hoop says, "What was it like meeting Kobe, and how did his death hit you?"
Oh man, me and Kobe was nice. You know, he's very so smart, so smart. He's intelligent. The guy is just intelligent. You even around him for a little while, you kind of like you almost like amazed at like how well spoken he is and his insight and everything when it comes to whatever he's speaking about. Not just basketball, but you know when he speaks, it's like a scientist. It's like he's speaking in you know the top notch communication, but you still understand it. And I love you know I love Kobe, man. I always love Kobe. I love the reason why you know the whole Michael Jordan thing, the will to win. It's kind of the same thing that he had in him, and I love Kobe even more because I think that he handled pressure very well. You know, everybody that was against him, even when he had his case and everything that was going on, you know, that's a lot to overcome, you know, and he didn't fold at that time. He still was able to perform and still was able to overcome and be his best. And so you know, I love Kobe for that. And he has all girl daughters. He kind of stuck with the same woman his whole career. You know, that's just his personal life, but I always have love for him, just his mentality alone. And then yeah, his death was difficult because I was like in Europe and I was sleeping and it's like something woke me up. It was crazy. It was like crazy. I don't know. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I said this is not real. I didn't know if it was real. I'm on a different time zone and I'm just looking at things and it's pitch black and I'm just like this can't be right. You know, this can't be right. And it hit me like how it hit you guys, you know, even more. I mean,
Rest in
so
peace,
young to
Kobe.
be at the peak of your life, and it's like you know that really humbles everybody. It should have humbled everybody. It's like to think about life, you know. You could be the best person, you could be whatever it is, and then just like that, a simple mistake or whatever happened, gone now, and you're like a legend to so many people, you know?
Facts. We got. We're gonna take a couple more questions because we
Yeah,
y'all have been having us
overtime.
going to overtime the last couple of weeks. Um,
We knew it was gonna happen. We knew it was gonna happen. So
yes,
we were ready for it. We knew we was going in overtime.
facts. So let me knock out a couple of these because we definitely we gotta get ready to get up out of here soon.
Yeah, but Kobe hugged me though. He hugged me. He loved me.
Yeah,
He could feel the Mamba love. He could feel the Mamba love.
here's a good one here. What does Rucker Park mean to Nikki Avery?
Oh man, yeah, I love Rucker Park so much. I think Rucker Park has embraced me the most out of every part. You know, me as a player, me as a rapper, me as a personality, everything. You know, every time I walk in there from the door, like security with the concessions, everybody who's doing the lemonade, the juices, all the way through, walking past the VIP area, walking towards the table, the whole staff, everybody, they're like a joy. You know, they're a little more old school, but it's like sincere love. You know, it's that love that's like that family or like the old head love. Like they never gonna, you know, they stick to their guns. So I love Rucker. You know, I appreciate them for letting me be me. Cause you know we've been trying to like build up the girls league, and you know I like to dance, I like to have fun, and then Mike, Larry, and Rel, who you know they were the two MCs during our games. They would always hype us up, and so it was a free, fun party type vibe most of the times that we play there. And so I enjoy that. You know, I enjoy that much more than being very, very serious. It's like, you know, we gotta live. You know, we wanna have some fun, party a little bit, shoot some hoops. Cause I mean, I guess it's fun for me that we winning. You know, but I mean, if we can still win and be that way, then I don't see the problem. You know.
Do you do you ever I mean, do you ever just sit back and think like and I know sometimes it's tough to do when you're in the moment, but like you are truly a Rucker Park legend. Like, does it ever hit you like, yo, this is like real legendary stuff that I'm accomplishing out here?
It never hits me that way. I like always feel like it's not enough. Nothing is enough. I like always not look at other people in comparison. Look at other people like, wow, you know, in a wow, like look at what these people. Look at how this person could dribble. Look at how this person, you know, in a support manner. And it's like I kind of like would overlook myself in a sense, you know, like not realizing what's going on, like the things that I'm doing. You know, what I'm playing in the game, and then at halftime I'm rapping. You know what I'm saying? Or I play in the game ends, and while the other team is warming up, they'll get on the mic. Yo, Nick, you feel like spitting today? And all right, and give me the mic. I go rap while the next two teams are playing, and I'm still in my uniform. And this has happened these last 5 years, but before that, this happened 10 years ago. I got a clip from 10 years ago. It was one team. This is old school Rucker Park days. And
Yeah.
what happened was one of the girls, her name was Beast, right? Her name was the Beast. I don't know if y'all heard about her. Anyway, used to get on the mic and she rapped for like 2-3 minutes long. And one of my teammates knew that I rapped also. So they were like, "Yo, give Nikki the mic." This was the first time I like was introduced. Like I introduced myself to Rucker. They didn't know. Give Nikki the mic. So I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna say? Like I had raps, but I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? I didn't prepare for like just to start rapping. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I got the bed. And I just started going, you know, I'm Niki Avery. I'm doing the most. Won't catch me. When I say won't catch me drinking liquor, but I'll sip a mimosa from NY. But I've been all over the coast, bowling overseas, real familiar with boats. Y'all walking on land. I'm on a jet ski. Turn that water to ice. Now watch me Gretzky. And like it was corny. It was old, but like I did the rap, and then the DJ started to kick in, like you know when they make the
Yeah.
drops, they put like little sounds in the back. Yo, they went crazy because I had more to the rap. It was like I was turned up. I was like just going. I'm gonna show y'all the clip. I'm gonna send you the clip.
All
So
right.
that was my first introduction, you know, of the Rucker. And once that happened, they love, you know, all of the old heads, the people who like run everything and they know what's going on. They were like, we love her. Then I spit some real serious stuff, you know, things that are meaningful and cool, and they loved it. So now it's like they love me there. I love it so much. I just like, yes, Rucker Park.
Facts. Let me. I
That's
want to go and
fire.
take. I want to take Drunk's questions because Drunk actually got a good question here. He's asking, do you have thoughts on Elizabeth Cambridge? Because she was a dog, but she literally said, "I'm good on WNBA."
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that she said that. That's wild because I think she's a super talent. You know, Cambridge is, um, she's a big post player. She plays for, I think she's from Canada. She's from Canada, but she plays for one of the teams. She did. And I don't know. I don't know, you know, why she feels that way or what's going on. But she's more of a free type person from what I've seen from her. So maybe it's just too strict. You know, she might be feeling
Yeah.
the pressure of it, the league being too strict, or her lifestyle being too strict, being in WNBA, because she's more of like she wants to be in like on the cover of things, model with like you know a one piece thong or you know whatever it is, like cool stuff, like things that I'm cool. I love it. You know what I mean? I like it. I love it. Like do more, please.
Facts.
So I'm with it, you know. But I'm sure that her struggle or whatever she's dealing with it has to do with the way that the league is set up. It's a little more strict. You know, they don't want her to be just doing stuff like that and representing her team, the league. And so that's what I would assume is going on. I don't know though, but she's definitely a dog. So I don't know why she's saying she's good on the WNBA.
You see this one?
No,
Serena
I
Nesco
like this.
versus you 1-on-1
I like
at
this
Rutgers
question
at
from Drunk.
21. Who winning?
I,
I'm always gonna go for myself.
You putting the
You know.
I,
clamps
I
on her?
was
You putting the
at
clamps on her?
Rutgers. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to put
Yeah,
the
you put.
clamps on it. She got to guard me too. She a bigger guard, you know, but still, I'm fast. I mean,
You talked about Cheryl Swoops and a sneaker. Did you see
yeah,
Sabrina recently put out the Nike commercial with her sneaker?
yep,
How dope is that?
it's dope. It's dope. And I've seen the line of clothes. It was like two sweaters. She has like the S symbol, and it's a cool S, you know. So it's a nice logo. That's what I'm saying. Where even men can wear it, and you wouldn't know what it is. You know, it doesn't say like Sabrina Big or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job marketing wise with her logo because I feel it caters to both genders. And her clothes look cool. The shorts are cool. They're like I could tell they're smaller shorts. They're not so long, which is
Yeah.
dope because that's what we need. We want small shorts, most of us, and we don't want those long shorts that are going past our knees. Come on, it's over for that. So I'm seeing the model make of her shorts. I'm like, yes, you can tell by the way they cut. It kind of like lets your thighs show.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, good job, Sabrina. Good job, Nike. Yeah, but they just dropped and they look cool. I haven't put them on, but they look really cool. They look like they're lightweight. They look kind of like Kobe's.
See, Janelle Jackson says, "Is Candace Parker a top 10 WNBA player of all time?" Barbershop debate. Her career resume is unreal. What do you think?
Yeah, WNBA player of all time for sure. Candace Parker, inside, outside. She was probably one of the first big men who kind of was doing both like that. You
Yeah,
know, was creating the handle. She could play back to the basket. She could play attacking the basket, and then her stepping out and having the baby mid. Halfway through her career was a big thing too. I don't know how many women were doing that and feeling safe with their position and with everything going on to be able to come back and still kill. So yeah, kudos to her, man. Candace Parker is definitely a top 10 GOAT.
let me throw Drunk's comp. Drunk is crazy.
Put that water to ice. Now watch me Gretzky.
Drunk,
Drunk,
drunk
you know
is probably
that's
sleeping already because he out here stealing balls.
Look, I said in my sports elite pose, yeah, you can't check me already engaged to Grammy, Oscar, and SB. That's what's one of my lies.
we need that clip. We need the whole clip.
You gotta see the clip. It's
We
crazy.
got
Yo, you gotta see the clip. I'm telling y'all gonna be like, no way.
yeah.
We got to
Listen, I'm
see the clip. We got to post it up.
yeah. I'm trying to get to everybody's comments. It's a lot, so I'm trying to knock these out. If I miss you, guys, charge it to the head, not the heart. Let me throw Imani's question up. She said, "Who is your favorite NBA player to watch?" And she needs a WNBA prediction. Who wins the title?
Okay, the title is gonna be won by the Liberty.
Come on now.
And my favorite current NBA player to watch. I love Steph Curry, yo. I ain't gonna lie. Like I love watching Steph. But I do love watching John Morant now. I think he's explosive and fun to watch. There's so many good players. I mean, I love all the guards. Kyrie Irving, all the guards. I watch the guards closely because that's my position. So I love them the most. But Steph Curry is my top.
Kyrie Thompson says, "Have you ever been in awe of anyone you met in person?"
Not yet. I haven't been in awe. I was just like, wow. No, not yet.
Let me see if I'm missing it. Well, she kind of mentioned this one before, but let me just throw it up. Kyrie Thompson. He also wants to know: Have you played against Renee Taylor and Nisha Butler? She was nice in high school and at Georgia Tech until she got hurt.
So Nisha Butler, I kind of like was really she's way older than us, I think, as far as like class, as far as like when I was in middle school, she was probably in college, so that's a good big separation. So I didn't get to see her as much. I didn't know her, but one time when I went into Gaucho's gym, and this is when I was an adult at this time, like maybe out, out of college, she was there working out or doing something, and I was like, "Who's this girl?" Because she was so pretty and like but I could tell she had game. And like that's when they told me, they like, oh, that's Nisha Butler. That she cold. She from this part and that part, and you should see what she was doing. So that's when I really became familiar with who Nisha Butler is. And I looked her up, and yeah, she was a bucket. She was a bucket, but she kind of was a girly girl type of player, a person. And um everybody started hearing about her. And Renee Taylor is the GOAT. Like she's different with the game. Like I said, the AI Allen Iverson of basketball when it comes to the girls. And I'm not taking away nothing from me. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I just consider myself a bum or anything, but and I'm not no dick rider or nothing either. You know what I'm saying? Sorry if I curse, but but for Renee is deserving. You know what I'm saying? Like she's really different. Like
Facts.
yeah.
She is big shout out to Renee. We were trying to have Nikki and Renee come on today, but the schedules just couldn't work out. I seen a question. I'm gonna post it up that was asking about future guests. So we're gonna work on getting Renee on the show when the WNBA playoffs kick off. So we'll work on bringing Renee on. Let me throw Imani's comment up there just because Imani's supporting us and I love that. Real fans, real talk. Can I give y'all flowers? I want to salute y'all. Man, what I love the best, y'all try to get all the questions.
Thanks,
Fantastic.
honey.
Yes, keep it up. Facts. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all so much. And let me see.
To answer drunk question, no, he's not better than Magic. We just
Is Steph
put that
better?
to
Yeah,
bed.
drunk.
Put that to
Stop,
bed.
man.
He's not better than Magic.
Yeah,
And
like
I
come on.
love Steph, but he's not better than Magic.
Yeah, I love
check the
Steph.
resume. You got to check the resumes out, man. Magic was him from when he first came into the league. He was him. Steph, we didn't talk about Steph until
But
maybe like
that's
9
why
years
I
ago.
love Steph though. These are the things that make me love. See, I love an underdog. I love somebody who nobody knew about. He had to really work for it. He undersized everything, and
So
he changed the game of basketball.
he absolutely did. But Nikki, you might be one of the most equipped people to answer this question, right? Is Steph a true point guard?
I mean, what do you? Okay, first we have to break down what do we
Okay.
consider a true point guard.
Yeah,
So to me, a true point guard is a facilitator. You get into your offensive sets, as you mentioned earlier, the way the game is in Europe, you play make for everybody, right?
Right. So do you
And
consider? So let me ask you something. If Steph wasn't scoring so much, like if he didn't have the ability to score, because that's why he scores, because he has the ability to
mm-hmm,
score. You know what I mean? Like case closed. Don't you think that he also has great passing ability or like court awareness that he could be strictly a setup player?
of course. No, again, that's not to knock that area of his game. I think he has the total package. But
Yeah.
this whole debate about Steph and Magic isn't about the who's the better scorer. The
Yeah.
debate starts about, is Steph a better point guard than Magic Johnson? He is not a better point guard than Magic Johnson, because Magic Johnson is the ultimate facilitator of an
Yeah.
offense.
Well, that was his job. Yeah, like that was his role. Like that was his
Right.
thing.
but he
Like
could
You
put
know,
up 40 on you though.
but he
right.
could put him
His Magic
40.
If he
definitely had
needed
those
to.
things.
And that's not to knock Steph, because I love Steph. I think Steph is
Yeah.
amazing. But
Right.
Steph, in terms of like initiating offense, he's never really had to do it because Golden State always made sure they kept true point guards around. Sean Livingston,
No,
Jarrett
yeah, for
Jack,
sure.
Draymond.
I think
Draymond
his size
initiates.
I think his size kind of like changes things for him when you talk about true point guard stuff, because like Magic is a bigger guard.
Right.
How big was Magic?
6'9".
6'8", six
Six
eight, six
eight.
nine. Yeah.
So like right away, Magic, the things that he could see just off his size gives him advantage.
Yeah,
So like he could have the ball and just throw it over the person's head. He could see who's back there. You know what I mean? He could do certain things just based off of his size that a smaller guard has to kind of like work harder for, like get into certain angles to make that type of pass. So it's based on his size too. You know that why he was so great because he was a big guard. Or
yeah,
when he used to drive, people had to step up. All he had to do was make his fancy pass. You know what I'm saying? And if they didn't know how to get in help side yet, they didn't know it. Even if you help, somebody's always open when there's two people on the
Correct.
ball. You know what I mean? So he became so good at knowing where to hit the extra person. But he was big like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I don't think that means that Steph isn't capable. I think that Steph is capable of being just a point guard too, but I think that he's so good of a shooter
yeah.
that like he kind of could just let it fly. It's like, yo, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
doing this all day when I
I think
could
they both
score the
did what was
ball.
needed of them for their respective teams.
Yeah.
I think that's how
I
they
think
both play the game. With Steph, he
right.
needs
Like
to score. With Magic, he needed to be the facilitator because you
right.
Yeah.
had Kareem and Worthy and Cooper and all of these guys out there. So it was more important for him to be the facilitator. But then he would have those nights where, yeah, Magic could put up 35, 40 on you.
Yeah.
And you like, yo, who the
Right.
heck is this guy?
Right.
So,
I think, like I said, Steph, when he said I'm the better point guard, you made it purely about being a point guard. If Steph had said I'm the better player, yeah, you could
Yeah.
make that argument, because I think Steph's resume shows that overall he has been a better player because of his
Yeah.
ability to score. And like you said, he can still run some offense. It's not to
Yeah.
say
He
he
still
can't run
run offense.
offense.
Yeah, he got that handle, that ball on the string. He can
Right.
handle the
He can do
ball.
all those things. But if you're telling me I need a point guard to get me into the offense, it's tough to pick anybody over Magic.
I know. I mean, it just depends on what you want. You know what I mean? Because you think about the game now. It's like, do you want a point guard that's just gonna be like not can't knock down the long shot, or not that Magic couldn't? But I know that's not one of Magic's fortes. He wasn't just pulling up and doing shit like
Right.
that. He was getting to the basket mostly, from what I know. Like I said, I didn't watch a lot. And it's either they moved back away from him and was like, yo, we're gonna let you score this game. We don't care. You got 30, or we're gonna close in on you and hope you turn it over. And he was
Right.
just making good passes all the time. His players knew where to be, and they was conversion on the passes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he a big guard. Nigga 6'8". Like, what you want to do with him?
nothing, because
A
Magic
six
did
eight,
whatever the heck he wanted to do
yeah, six
for the
eight
most part.
passer. It's like a LeBron James passer.
The only time Magic didn't do what he wanted to do was in that scrimmage the Dream Team had, and when MJ said there's a new sheriff in town. But outside of that, Magic did whatever he wanted to do during his NBA career. Kyrie Thompson says, "Is Kyrie Irving and Damian Lillard true point guards?"
This is the same thing me and Eric was just talking about. It just depends on what you consider true point guards. If you think about like a person that's not supposed to score, basically,
Yeah,
then they're not true point guards because they scoring. But they all point guards because I think that they have the ability to pass and dictate the outcome of the
yeah,
offense. Yeah, I think that they can do that. Now, if just because they can also score, that takes away their ability. They do the scoring more. You know what I mean? Because that's what they even better at. But I
yeah.
think that if they were to like be strict about themselves and say, "Look, I'm only gonna do this." Oh yeah, they're gonna do that to the T. They're gonna do that, I think, to a high entertaining ability too. You know what I mean? I could see Lillard being crafty or Kyrie making it in there and then doing some crafty passes if he strictly was told
Of
himself in two
course.
games, don't score. And if he told himself, Kyrie, do not score these 2 games, only distribute the ball. He
Yeah,
gonna go crazy. He gonna draw 3 people. He gonna start doing, But it's just that he's so good of a scorer and a finisher. Well, what's the point? Like, what we gonna do now? We gonna pass it, or we could finish? Why would we pass?
they
Right. I
want to know
mean,
if you consider yourself a true point guard.
I think I'm the same way. Like I like to score. I don't. I like to be a point guard and like facilitate and do stuff too. I love it. But if I have a chance to score, or get a hit, an open shot, or create something, I want to do that too. I don't want to be limited either. Just to like, cause sometimes you know what it is. You know what it is. It's that people you get overlooked when you don't do anything but just give it to one person and go to the other side, or what I'm saying, as far as true point guard type ability, like
mhm.
like in college they want to run a play, it's like, okay, pass to the wing, then you cut through, you go wait in the corner,
Yeah,
now
Yeah, but that I mean,
now
that I don't know if that's a true point guard
yeah,
though.
that's not a true point guard either, but that's what they talk about, facilitating the ball
I guess
nowadays.
if you look at Chris Paul, that he would be considered from
Right,
Right.
right.
they're trying to
Okay,
say
like
he's more.
taking screening roles and doing
Yeah,
everything.
he's not putting up 25, 30 a night, but he's running the offense. He's gonna get you 10 assists on any given night. He
Right.
can
He's gonna get
score.
you into the offensive set every time down the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah,
Right.
and control the tempo of the game.
Got you. Yeah, well, I can do. I love that too. I do consider myself a true PG in that sense, but I like to take shots too. I like getting some shots here and there. But I'm more of a. I like when my teammates are feeling good. Everybody's feeling good. So I have that true point guard personality in that aspect, where like I pay attention to who's feeling good or how they feeling. To somebody who I could tell they don't want to play defense no more because they didn't touch the ball in 3 plays.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I could tell. I already see. I was like, okay, let me get them the ball. You know what I mean? I won't say nothing, but I know I could tell. They not motivated right now. They not saying anything, but you can tell it. It's like they didn't get the ball in a couple of plays. They need some motivation. So I like get them the ball. They want to play. Everybody want to play and a chance to score the basket. You know what I'm saying? No, who doesn't want to score? Everybody wants to try to score and help. So, because that's what everybody respects. And people get shine more light, or you don't see the MVPs or the people that really shine light on everybody, or with the highest salaries being the person that like has 0 points and 10 assists.
yeah,
You
right.
feel me? Like, yo, you can set everybody up, set up the whole game. But what if you don't get assists? What about if all your setups are hockey assists?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You making plays where, yeah, y'all winning, y'all getting the bucket, but you doing hockey assist stuff. But still you're that important though. You know what I'm saying? You're still that important. You should be looked in the MVP category too, because you're the most valuable player, right?
yeah,
By doing stuff like that, getting the person to 2 people to play that person, now you're making an extra pass and all this and that. You created that, right? But you're not getting no attention, no nothing. Nobody's saying good job, nothing.
yeah,
So it's like, all right, I know we're players, we shouldn't think about that, but everybody wants to get recognized and shown love for what they do. And it's like a lot of times being that hockey assist person is not going to get you the bag. It's not going to get you the recognition that it should. So people have been adding things to their game. That's what I'm saying. Like they're adding things. They're trying to score now. They're trying to do things that puts them in the books. Like,
yeah. Let me go to Lene's question. She
Just
said,
my opinion too, Eric. I'm just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Nah, of course. We value your opinion. That's why
Yeah,
I asked. I wanted to know.
and
yeah.
that's why we wanted you to come up. So, before y'all go, and this is to all of you, the WNBA over the years has grown from the late '90s and early 2000s, but today we got social media and the game's grown. But what few things can maybe take the WNBA to the next level? What do you all suggest?
Go ahead. You guys can go because I think they want to hear from y'all too.
Um, it's it's tough, but I would say more. Oh man, I feel bad because I would say maybe more dunking would help boost a lot because a lot of times those highlight clips of people getting dunked on go viral. So I would say some of that. Um, I don't. Oh man,
You want me to
tough.
go, Trip, or you good?
Go ahead, Eric. You go.
All right. So first, I think what Nikki mentioned earlier is true. I think you gotta market the stars of your game. And so the same way we see these showcases for the NBA, for the Sunday game, for the Thursday game, they've got to highlight their stars in those marquee matchups. I think the next thing they got to do is that we can't expect the WNBA to have the same athleticism as the NBA, and that's fine. But what you can do is pace of play, speed up the game a little bit more, make it a little more up tempo, make it a little bit more exciting, so that it's fan friendly. I think those are the two main things that they can do to change the game in a moment. And you may I always thought it was a little unfair, and this isn't a knock against the women, but it's a little unfair when you put them in the same arena as the men, because those arenas are meant to hold 40, 50, 60,000 people. And if you're not selling out the same, the energy in the buildings isn't going to be the same. Sometimes you may need to go to a smaller venue where you can have a packed house and allow the
Yeah.
energy to kind of carry the moment.
I'm gonna jump in there because I agree and I understand the points of what you're saying, but I think that we should live up to the big hype. You know what I mean? Rather than make a smaller place and then us having to go in steps. It's like the smaller
Gotcha.
place is pulled out, then we move to the next place. Then it's still gonna be the same amount until we move it up. You know? So I think I like that we're in the big arenas. To be honest, I think some of the things you were saying are exactly what it is, like the certain plays, but also the camera work. It's like, okay, make that angle look better that it's a girl, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she's jumping higher or something. More of the camera work, more of the edits, more of the things to show. Like some people don't watch the game at all. They just watch ESPN and then they see the clips or something.
Yeah,
But if those clips are not there, nobody would be introduced to it. So it's like show more things happening while y'all showing the men's sports or whatever sport that's going on, tennis or whatever it is. Show the clips because these are sports people. All sports people respect sports, you know. So if they can see something worthy of watching, you know, if it's something, oh wow, let me start seeing what this is about, you know. So the clips, all of that matters. How things are shown, how they broadcasted, how they edited, and I think that can all add into everything. Exactly what you guys said.
facts. I gotta get to this question because they done dropped it about 3 times in the comments. Nikki, what do you know about the legend Teresa Edwards? The top 5 ever based on resume and played in 5 Olympics and won 4 gold medals.
Wow, I'm not even sure I know who Teresa Edwards is. You see, so that's bad on my part. Do you guys know who that is?
Well, we know who it is because they've been the supporters been
Yeah.
trying to on the
Oh,
show.
because I seen Teresa in the last one, but I thought they meant Teresa Weatherspoon, but they said Teresa Edwards. Okay, so
Yeah, well,
I'm not. I gotta look it up. You know, is that Edwards? Is she related to Edwards that's in the league right now?
I,
That
that
I'm
I'm
not sure of. Yeah.
Oh, cause he's cold. That's another guy I like watching play.
Yeah. Kyrie says I think more highlights on ESPN will be a start. You notice the major talk shows never talk about them. NBA TV shows them. I think that next class with Clark and Angel will help. Yeah,
That's what it is. It's
yeah,
social media. Everything that's going. I'm telling you, it's just the coverage. The coverage is not out there. You know how, like now that I know that things are evolving, it's not because of people I see in my neighborhood. It's because I'm watching Instagram and I'm seeing these 13 and 14-year-old girls dunking, and I'm like, oh, we in a good place. You know, I'm seeing these teams that are hot. They putting up their clips of the girls that are on the layup line dunking. So
yeah.
I'm like, okay, we lifting up now. You know, so that's what it is. It's more media coverage as things continue to go out there digitally, and we be able to see it on social media and everywhere. People will get more interested in it, and then the fact that those people in particular also have popularity outside the court is gonna help a lot. It's like if somebody loves
Yes.
Nikki, right? If somebody loves Nikki, they love me before, I don't know, being an influencer. They love how I have fun and dance. They might say, "Yo, I'm gonna go to Nikki's game." I'm going to Nikki's game tonight
Yeah.
because I know it's turned up. There's always good people around, and that's what it is. It's like you want to bring this type of energy following the WNBA.
Yeah, no, I think the personalities of the players, and also one of the things about like NBA players that we also like is their connection to other celebrities too, like the relationships they have with
Exactly.
rappers and actors and stuff like that. Honestly, summer in New York City could be a big boost as well, because that's where we get all of the collab from the biggest athletes and the biggest celebrities that come together for all of the different summer leagues, the Dykmans, the Rutgers, Hoops in the Sun. I think that would be a big boost as well. But I do think two of the young ladies that we mentioned earlier, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, I think they're gonna help um add to that just because their personalities are so big. I think female ballers like that can definitely help push the culture forward. But it is gonna take a little bit more time, because one, again, they don't the WNBA doesn't get that type of promotion. They're not talked about in the media as much as, let's say, just their counterparts in the NBA, or just other sports in general. The WNBA is not talked about that like that until you start getting closer to the playoffs. Then you probably get a little bit more WNBA talk. But for the most part, if you watch a show like First Take or Undisputed, if you get a small blurb during one
Yeah,
of those
right.
2 hour shows about the WNBA, that's a lot, you know.
Yeah. So I think more of that is happening now, and I think it'll just continue to happen. Like you mentioned, the summer basketball, yeah, like Clash TV and all of these networks that are coming to the games and filming is what's helping, even bring basketball out in general. For even the men's, it's like people who are not able to make the game can still see what's going on versus a clip here and there. They get to see the whole game now. And even
Mhm.
our games are televised as girls. So it's like now we can even have some more limelight when it comes to street ball with women. And that's the same thing everywhere. It just needs coverage. It needs to be uh, filmed. The history has to be televised. You know what I'm saying? It has to be shown in order for it
Facts.
to pass down.
When
Otherwise,
when the, when the Liberty won the chip this year, that's it's gonna happen like that. When they
exactly.
bring that thing home to New York, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be outside
Mhm.
posting a whole lot of clips.
Period.
Let me throw Hoops Nation coming up. Speaking of women with handles, y'all look up this chick Tammy Brawner. Have
Nah,
y'all heard of her? No, I haven't heard of her either.
nah, but Crystal Bellinger also is another one. Stupid handles here in New York. One of our New York's own. Different. She was the N1 mixtape. I don't know if you've seen the N1 mixtape. She was the girl that did the like pullback. Uh, anyway, if you guys watch clips and stuff, she was the girl that was in all the clips, the N1 stuff, all the way back in the day. The only female,
Yeah.
right? Like touring with the boys and was lethal. Like they couldn't guard her.
Shout out to Kyrie Thompson again. He said it's our best show. Nikki is amazing. We appreciate that, man. Yo, they that's why we had to have Nikki come on the show, man.
Word.
And we appreciate you definitely, because we know Nikki was under the weather, but she didn't want to let y'all
Yeah,
down.
I did. I wanted to be cute for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Have my hair down and a nice outfit and stuff. And now I'm just looking like plain Nikki, but it's all right.
There's one more comment I want to get to before I get to the final thought segment. Oh, there we go. Let me throw this one up actually.
Shout out to you,
All
kids.
the great show, fellas. Any guests we should be looking forward to? Maybe next week or on the next few. Nikki, it was a treat. You have a blessed night. Love your story. Thank you so much for that, Hoop Baller Scoop.
Thank you, Baller School.
Absolutely.
And yes, we do have more guests coming up. I told y'all we are going to get Renee Taylor up here at some point, and there's a few other names that we will be bringing on within the next couple of weeks as well. And again, for everybody that's been going hard for us on Instagram, yes, we are still trying to get Teresa Edwards and Teresa Witherspoon
Witherspoon. Yep.
to come back on the show. We have not given up. We still need y'all to put y'all push in too, though, on the Instagram. Make sure y'all at them on them posts and tell them, yo, y'all want to see them come on, because y'all got some questions that y'all need answers. So we need our supporters to get in the comments on our social media platforms and put that push in for us as well. Because when they see y'all going hard, that's gonna make it so that they have to to come back onto the show. Nikki, can you want to give us? We're gonna get into the final thought segment. You want to give us your final thought?
My final thought, shout out to real fans, real talk. I always appreciate you guys having me up here. I've been with y'all since day one, or y'all been with me since day one, and it's always love. So I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I want to thank everybody who spent their time to listen in and who had questions and everything like that. And my final thought is just be yourself. Be yourself and reach for greatness. And it sounds simple, but that's all it is. Uh, Whoever it is that you believe you could be in life, you could be. And it's to nobody else's judgment, nobody else's authority or permission. You do what it is that you think, and maybe what you do, it can be the first. You'll be the first of your kind. So don't let those things shed you away either. The impossible is definitely possible. So keep pushing, keep answering reaching out to God, talking to Him, and those prayers will be answered. So that's it. Keep God first. And then after that is family. After that, it's you and your mission. And you figure that out, you be straight.
Go shout out to Nikki and shout out to Drunk. Drunk, you crazy man.
Listen, drunk never disappoints every week. This is
He said definitely bad. But drunk, I'm looking bad today.
Well, I
I'm
think he
looking
meant
bad
bad
in
in
a
a good way.
bad way. I'm
When
looking
he's
bad in a bad way, not in
he
my
didn't mean it
bad
that
way.
way. He didn't mean it that. I'm laughing at that comment, and then drunk said I'm in contact with Cheryl Miller for y'all. She asking for my real name. Yeah, that drunk. We appreciate you, bro. We definitely
He's
appreciate
our
you.
agent. He's our agent.
Yeah, he working behind the scenes to elevate the show, man.
Facts. You gotta love it. Eric, you want to give us a final thought, man?
Oh man, as always, first and foremost, thank you to Nikki. Thank you for rocking with us. We going on 2 hours, but that's how much the people have enjoyed hearing your story and talking basketball with you. So we greatly appreciate you, and we greatly appreciate our supporters, man. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all rocking with us.
That's
And
right.
we can't thank you guys enough.
Facts. Nikki, give him your social media handle.
It's at Nini NINI __Venus VENUS.
Facts. So y'all stay in tune with Nikki. Follow her on Instagram or on social media so y'all can try to pop out. My final thought is gonna be go see Nikki play live and in person because you will definitely be in for a show. You will not be disappointed. If you haven't already, you need to go see her play live. When she puts up dates of what she's gonna do, I mean, we usually repost it anyway. But definitely go see her play live. With that being said, though, oh wait, hold on, we gotta make sure y'all following us on all our social media: Instagram, Twitter at Real Fan Talk, Facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk. And subscribe to that YouTube channel if you haven't already, YouTube.com/ For the Fans Productions. If you're not in the New York City area, you can't watch us Thursday nights on Verizon 43 from 8 to 9 p.m. Don't worry, you can still watch us from anywhere in the world. Only thing you have to do is go to realfansrealtalk.com, click that red button on the home page, and you can watch from anywhere in the world. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Sanchez Show and the Real Fans Real Talk podcast. Both of those are streaming on all major platforms. Once again, thank you guys so much to all the supporters. We truly appreciate y'all dropping the comments in. If we missed you today, we do apologize, but it's nothing but love. And again, Nikki, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you were under the weather, but we truly appreciate the love that you always show us. So salute to you. With that being said, for myself, Trip Young, my brother, Eric Sanchez, aka Legend in Two Games, and of course, the top female baller in New York City,
Woo woo.
Niki Avery. We up out here.
We out here. Peace and love.
Hey.
Thank you guys.